What's up, guys? It's Matt Hammer here. I'm gonna tell you some of the things that go on in like Fort Benning, basic training, all that other good shit. See, if you're not gonna go to Fort Benning, I wouldn't, I wouldn't really take all this video into, I wouldn't take this video into like consideration for it because I mean, all basic training sites are different. Like Fort Leonard Wood, it'll be 90 degrees 1 minute, and then you'll go into a building for about 2 seconds. You'll go out and there's 2 feet of snow on the ground. So this is just for Fort Benning mostly. So the first day you're gonna get to, well, actually, like whenever you ship off your day that you go to Maps, you're gonna go to Maps. And you're gonna get like a little medical briefing done. You're gonna see the doctor. And he's gonna ask you if any medical things have changed since like you swore in or whatever, however long ago that might have been. And then if you say no, then he's like, all right, you're set. Then they're gonna put you into this tiny room with like desks and shit, and people are gonna give you like some briefings on what's gonna happen, how you're gonna be transported to your training site and everything else. And then I was transported by a fucking shuttle bus for 13 hours from West Virginia to Georgia, so that was pretty fun. They're gonna like tell you all this good shit, and then they're gonna make you wait in the MEPS waiting area for like 4 hours until it's actually time for you to go. Everybody's got their briefing done and everything else, and then you're gonna go and you're gonna be transported there by however means, whatever way they deem necessary. And then like 13 hours later, here I am at this place called 30th Adjutant General Reception Battalion. You're gonna get a reception first. It's like the first 4 to 10 days of basic. You're just gonna sit there in reception, get your shots done, your blood work done, your hearing, eye examinations, your dental examinations, make sure everything's all set for you to go. Uh, the first day you're gonna get like PT stuff issued to you, like a bunch of other good stuff like towels and like gloves and all that other good shit. And then like I got there like late as shit at night, so I got that shit like all issued to me, and then we went up to our bays and like learned how to make our beds with hospital corners and stuff in the sheets, and make them all nice and stuff. And that that lasted a long time. Like we finally got to go to bed at like 3:30, and then we had to wake up at like 4. So I didn't even, so if you're gonna go to bed at like 3:30 or any like crazy ass late at night stuff, then don't even go to sleep, because I mean your body hormones whenever you go to sleep are gonna be like, oh yeah, it's time to go to bed and rest, and then you're gonna wake up like half hour, maybe 5 minutes later, and you're just like shit. You're gonna feel terrible that day, and I wouldn't really want to be tired because that next day was whenever we got our military IDs, and since I was very tired because I chose to go to sleep that day, I look like this. Yeah, that's good old Maddie. Tired as shit. Um, then, well, the next day, you're probably gonna get your shots. Now, you're gonna get like 8 shots here and like 6 shots here. One shot like in the forearm, and actually another shot in the other forearm, and like a shot in the back of the arm. And yes, you're gonna get an ass cheek shot, and we all call it the peanut butter shot because it's not like a liquid that goes in. It's like more like a combination of some kind of gel and death. It felt like awful. It was the worst thing ever in the world. And like my leg was dead for the whole week after that. And then they're gonna take your blood. They're gonna take like a shit ton of blood. Like 8 people passed out because of how much blood they took. They're gonna do all that good stuff, and you're probably gonna get your ACUs issued that day. You may get your boots. I didn't get my boots, but some people got theirs, so I don't know why. Guess they didn't have it in my size or something like that. Uh, well, then they're gonna spoil you at reception with like good ass food, and like you get to chill out a lot. And bleachers, and like all the sergeants tell you stories about like what happens at basic and everything else, and it's really cool until you like, but they're gonna serve you like fattening foods and shit, and like they're gonna have like a fattening food line and a healthy food line on the other side. Go to the healthy food line, trust me. I ate the fattening food, the fattening foods the whole week at reception. I gained like 15 pounds and I lost all of them like within like 3 days whenever I finally get downrange. With all the vaccinations that you get at reception, you're gonna get sick. You're gonna get like deathly ill, and don't go to sick call at reception because they're terrible. The sick call people are so awful at reception. Like you just don't go. If you're really that sick, then just wait till you get downrange at basic to go because they're so much better. Um, you're gonna get more stuff fitted to you. We finally got our boots like 2 days before we shipped off to basic, along with like 2 more shots, and they're gonna give you like these 2 pills. So there's like a live virus and everything else, and you're gonna get more sick. You're just gonna be sick like the whole time at basic, from the time you get the shots till like probably a week after you start basic. I'm at reception, by the way. Like, what I mean, then like you just sit there and they're gonna give you like special forces briefings and like ranger briefings about like what the requirements are to get into like special forces and rangers and shit, and like I didn't really pay attention to them. I was just wanting to go through basic and get it over with. So uh then I had to sit there for like 9 days at reception because it just all depends on the ship graduation date or whatever, or the 2 week notice thing for the drill sergeants. Whenever we finally got to basic, it was hell. We had to carry like one green duffel bag on our backs, along with our personal bag front loaded on our fronts, and then a laundry bag, and like there was like 300 pounds worth of shit there that we had to carry like around and took from reception to actual basic to our companies, and we rode a bus and it was cramped as shit because of all the stuff we had. The drill sergeant that picks you up from reception gets you on the bus and goes to actual basic. He seems cool at the time, but then whenever it's time for you to get off the bus, it's like so terrible. Like they yell at you and scream at you, and you do push-ups, and you have to run to your company area and like all that other good stuff. And like my company's name was Charlie 3rd Battalion 4. Yeah, Charlie 3rd Battalion 47th Infantry Regiment. So Charlie 347 Cobras. My platoon was the Renegades 2nd Platoon. Like you're gonna have some kind of good name like that, and makes you feel all special, and they're gonna like totally tear you apart like for the first like week and a half of basic, and then they start getting a little bit more chill. They don't really get fully chill until like blue phase, which is like the last 3-4 weeks of basic. But you're like the first day they're gonna sit you in a classroom and give you a basic briefing, and uh, you're gonna sit at desks, and like every single desk there is gonna have a penis strewn on it. So I mean, don't think your desk is out of the usual because every single desk has a penis on it. Just don't ask me why. It's the nature of humans to draw a penis on everything they see, but I mean, this is how it is. They're gonna Eagle Tower. we did that like within 2 days of getting to basic, and it was fun. I went once, and then they asked if we wanted to go. If whoever wants to go again, they said to get roped up and go back up again. I got roped up, went back up again. My drill sergeant snapped me in with a D ring. He said, "Are you ready, Private?" I was like, "Yes, drill sergeant." He Spartan kicked me off the top of the Eagle Tower, and I went pummeling to the ground, 50 feet up. It was fun. Like, I got stopped though, like the rope, their hydraulic rope. So I mean, it's not all bad. The gas chamber was the next week. Wasn't that bad. Just people are always gonna tell you horror stories about how the gas chamber and like how shitty it is and how they coughed and threw up and stuff. And there were people there while I was in there that were like coughing and like within like 2 seconds of like actually taking our masks off, they're like, "Oh shit, oh this is the worst thing. I feel like I'm gonna die." And I was just like, "Oh shit, this kind of sucks," but it doesn't really. So it depends on the person. Most most people are gonna hate it probably, but it wasn't really that bad for me. I don't know why. And then you're gonna have to go around saying the stupid ass quote like my eyes are open, my arms are flapping. And it's like so stupid. And then we did a nighttime land navigation course. I'm not even gonna go to full detail with that because it was so boring. It was like the worst part of basic, just because how boring it was. I was just like wandering through the woods aimlessly, looking for like coordinate targets and stuff with a map and a compass. And it took all day and all night. We actually got back to our bay at 12, like at 0 midnight. Well, FTX 1, it wasn't bad. We actually just went there one day, came back that night, and then went there the next day. It was just, we learned like low crawls and all that other stuff that we already knew, how to set up a perimeter and how to pull security and everything else. Uh, then after FTX 1, we actually went back to our base and got promoted to White Phase. We went like 4 weeks at White Phase with um shooting our M16s, our M16A4, qualifying with them and everything else. Like uh, it was like they the first 3 weeks of it was them like conditioning us to be better marksmen, like doing the best they could to actually like get us to practice marksmanship just for the last week, the final qualification course, and like all that other good stuff. And those were like pop-up targets came up and you had to hit like a certain amount out of 40, like 29 out of 40, no, I think 23 out of 40 to get marksman, 30 out of 40 to get sharpshooter, and 36 out of 40 to get expert. Um, we're gonna do all that. And after basic rifle marksmanship, you're gonna start advanced rifle marksmanship, and that's like pretty cool. I mean, we shot M203 grenade launchers, AT4 anti-tank launchers, uh, M240 Bravos, M249 Saws. They were beast. I was so beast. Um, we shot with the optic sights, like the whatever it's called, the reflex optic sight with the M16A4, or like hot in like night vision goggles and like all that other good stuff. It was pretty fun. We like learned how to. We did battle team movements, which is battle buddy, like two battle buddies would like run next to each other and like shoot targets and stuff. Like the cover me while I move, got you covered thing. It was scary because we were running next to each other with live rounds, and I really didn't trust my battle buddies there that much because most of them were all screw ups and everything else. And oh my god, they got us smoked so many times. There's a big white glare here. We did FTX 3 or first we did like urban operations, which is like clearing rooms, and we shot each other with UTM rounds, which are simulated battle rounds, which is like a real bullet shape. It's like a real bullet with a plastic tip, and once the plastic tip gets impacted, it pushes in, causing paint to come out, and they sting like a bitch. Um, I got shot in the knee once, and it got infected, and the infection spread all over my knee, and it wasn't a very pretty sight. So I mean, watch out for those. Just keep an eye on where you get shot because it could get infected, like mine did. I don't know why mine got infected because I mean I was a generally clean person at basic because I took a shower every chance I could because there were some dirt balls there and some of them got staph infection and everything else. But I was like, nope, I'm not doing that. I'm being like the cleanest person there. But I was like the cleanest person there, and my knee still got infected from being shot with a UTM round. So I mean, if it could happen to me, it could happen to anybody. I got shot in like the ass cheek with a UTM round, and that sucked. I got shot like everywhere. I got like every single orifice of my body got shot once with a UTM round. And they leave like bleeding welts. They they worked up good. Uh, and then we did MRTC, which is mounted reactor contact. It's like where we ride convoys and shit, and like we shoot each other with UTM rounds again. And that in those missions, that was during FTX3, by the way. FTX3 was like 4 days, like in 3 nights, just sleeping out in the woods. It was pretty fun. We got rained on though the first night, so it sucked. Um, slept in wet ACUs and everything else. Um, and like we did mounted reactor contact, we did a bunch of like different kind of missions and stuff like IED missions, like where we had to spot IEDs and stuff, and like our protocols for doing that. You run a lot in basic. You do like a lot of PT. Like every morning, we wake up. The usual day was you'd wake up at about 4 o'clock in the morning. Do your personal hygiene for about a half hour, which is like brushing teeth, shaving, and all that other good stuff, like all that. And about 4:30, you go down to the company area and form up for and they're gonna give you a briefing for the day. And about 5 o'clock, you're gonna start PT for about an hour, whatever kind of PT you do. It varies every day. Um, and then about 5 or about 6, whenever you stop, you're gonna like get dressed in ECUs and go do breakfast. And sometimes we did breakfast in the field called UPUs, which is unit pickup, which is just portable breakfast, and it sucked because you get very little. You're gonna have UPUs a lot, especially when you do BRM and ARM on the ranges and stuff. Um, After FTX3 was our final ruck march, I think 10 miles. Uh, it was up Stairway to Heaven at Fort Benning. Anybody who's been to Fort Benning or is going, there's gonna be a Stairway to Heaven. It's like a big hill, like that steep for like 6 miles, and we had to walk up it with our 30-pound rucksacks. I mean, we got it done. I guess. I mean, then you're gonna after the final ruck march, you're gonna stop at a ceremony. It's called the Cold Steel Rite of Passage ceremony. Uh, it's where like they give you like a big speech and like they play a bunch of rock music and like we got there to the FTX1 site where uh, where Cold Steel took place, and there was like a big ass bonfire and like hard rock music and all that stuff. And we gathered around the bonfire and like did some kind of ceremony. Like it was it was pretty cool actually. Then all the drill sergeants were relatively nice to us for the rest of the time. Recovery week was there. We returned and all our stuff. Listen, like my platoon sucked because some people failed to clean their weapons during recovery week whenever they were taking them up, and we got smoked so much for it. Like for like a whole day, we had to sit there and clean weapons, nothing but clean weapons the whole day during recovery week one day because people were stupid and just didn't clean weapons. um, then like it was just recovery week came and went. Like we had something called a warrior's breakfast the first day of recovery week, which was like the same breakfast that we got usually, except we got to choose what we got. Plus, we got steak with it. It was awesome. Because I haven't had steak in like 3 months by that time. Then after recovery week, it's graduation week. That's probably when your IN4 Bravo takes place, which is the final inspection of everything you ever got issued at basic that you have to turn in for the next cycle, and plus your weapons. That's where my platoon screwed up. They didn't clean their weapons, and yeah, we got smoked for it. They didn't even get a chance to get to my weapon and see how clean mine was. I don't know how clean mine would have been, but it was cleaner than theirs. I mean, I'll give you that much. And then, I mean, graduation week, family day. Family day was fun. Like we had to do like a stupid ass 4 mile family day run. It was like a motivational run where we ran, sang cadences, and it was just 4 miles. And our families watched them. And it kind of sucked because I just wanted to get done with it and see my family that I haven't seen in 3 months. But no, we're gonna do a run instead today, guys, and then you'll get to see your families. We did that, and then we went to Pomeroy Field, which is family day ceremony thing, and they did some kind of ceremony that I didn't even pay attention to. I was just out staring off into space the whole time while they were doing the speeches and stuff, and then they released it to our families. We went out from like 10, maybe 10 in the morning, probably till 2000, which is 8 o'clock at night. Uh, we went back to the bay, sat around on our phones and stuff. Our new phones that we finally got back after 3 months. Sat around on them for like all night. I stayed up till like 3 o'clock in the morning. Clearly we were supposed to get up like 4 to go graduate. I stood up till like 3 o'clock in the morning. We were just on our phones. And then the next day's graduation. It rained. It rained like a bitch during my graduation day, so we had to. It was at the National Infantry Museum, and outside there's like a bunch of different kind of old style buildings that were actual buildings from like older wars and stuff. And we sat there in the old mess hall until the rain kind of seceded. And we did the family day ceremony. It was pretty cool. Like it lasted forever though, and then I went home. We finally got done. I was like, oh wow. I mean, if you're going to basic, dude, trust me, it it's like it goes by so fast. You're gonna be sitting there. You're gonna be like, the first couple of days of basic, you're gonna be like, oh my god, this is gonna take forever. I'm never gonna get home again. Like that's how I felt. And then finally, I mean, I graduate and I'm just like, oh my god, that didn't take long at all. Like I look back on it and I was like, oh my god, dude, like that was like the fastest thing I ever done. It felt like 2 days. I mean, it was literally like it was literally not that slow at all. Like we were always doing something. We were always busy doing something that just like time went by fast. And like I was just sitting there on my way home from Fort Benning, and I mean I was just sitting there thinking the whole time. I was just thinking how fast it went. Like the good friends I made and the few enemies that I've made, because some people like to be bitches and whine about everything, and I don't deal with that kind of stuff. So I mean, it just went by so fast. It was like the fastest thing ever, like the fastest 3 months of my life. I mean, we were always constantly doing something. Some was fun, some was not, and it was just so fast. Trust me, guys, it's gonna go by so fast. You're gonna be home before you know it, and it was it was a trip. Basically, it's a trip. There's gonna be some really really shitty times, guys. Like I'm not gonna lie, some really bad times. But just hang in there. Don't do anything stupid. Try to make yourself unknown the whole time by your drill sergeants. Make sure your drill sergeants don't know you. And that concludes my video telling y'all about basic and shit. But hope you guys enjoy basic. If you are going, hope you enjoy basic. I enjoyed most of basic. It wasn't that bad. It's really not that bad, guys. Trust me. But I'll see you guys later.